All right, let's just dive right into a really unsettling idea. What if, what if our whole definition of normal is actually a symptom of a deep societal sickness? In this explainer, we're going to explore this profound argument that, in a world that might be this unhealthy, fitting in could be the surest way to lose your true self.
It all kind of starts with this haunting diagnosis from the psychologist Carl Jung. He saw this paradox that just cuts right to the heart of modern life. I mean, we strive so hard to be normal, right? To fit in. But Jung is suggesting that achieving that very thing can become the source of our deepest suffering. It's a heck of a dilemma.
So, this forces us to ask a really direct and honestly challenging question. Has our culture become so sick that normality itself has become a kind of disease? Now, this isn't just some philosophical game. It completely reframes how we think about mental health. It suggests that the goal of being normal might be the very thing making us all ill. Okay, so let's start by actually diagnosing this condition. In this first part, we're going to break down what it really means to be normal in our world and why that standard might be dangerously flawed. Here's the bottom line. In the modern West, normality is pretty much defined by conformity. It's all about orienting your life around what society says is okay, accepting the cultural dogmas of the day without really thinking about it. It is, to put it simply, the path of least resistance. Now, what's so fascinating here is the contrast. See, conformity isn't automatically a bad thing. It's an evolutionary instinct. In a healthy society, it makes the tribe stronger. But look at the other side. In a sick society, that exact same instinct becomes a poison. It stops our development in its tracks, stunts our character, and leads us down a path to a corrupted self. And what's the end result of all this? Well, we risk becoming what some people have called opinionated robots. We just mindlessly regurgitate the mainstream ideas we see on our screens. We're so busy chasing social validation, focusing on looking good to other people, that we completely neglect the real work of building and beautifying our inner selves. So how in the world does this happen? In our next section, we're going to dissect the psychological mechanics of this herd mind to really understand how we lose ourselves in the crowd. Carl Jung gave us a really key concept for understanding this. He called it the persona. It's the social mask we all wear. It's that version of yourself you put on for work or with friends or online. It's the face you show the world to get accepted and just get by. But here's where it gets dangerous. Step 1. We start to over-identify with that mask. We think the mask is us. Then, in step 2, our true individual self gets pushed into the background. But all that repressed potential, it doesn't just vanish. No, it turns into this poisonous, destructive energy. And that's when it erupts as anxiety, depression, and that deep, nagging feeling that it's all pointless. Jung called this atrophied collective adaptation. So let me ask you directly. Do you ever feel that sense of the person you were meant to be struggling just beneath the surface of the person you've become? If you do, that suffering, it isn't a disease to just medicate away. It's a signal. It's a cry from your true self telling you that a change is desperately needed. This is just a perfect, chilling analogy. Think of your normal life as a well-furnished prison cell. You've got comfort, you've got distractions, you even have the approval of the guards. But you have no sky, no real freedom. That's the hidden cost of a comfortable, conformist life. And that brings us to the really severe consequences of this self-betrayal. So what is the real price you pay for wearing that mask for way too long? The cost is what we could call the unlived life. It's that constant nagging feeling that none of this matters. It's the anxiety and depression that seem to come out of nowhere. And ultimately, it's the loss of your very soul as you become an automaton, sacrificing your unique individuality for a little bit of security. But look, this isn't a story of despair. We're going to pivot now from the problem to the solution, because there is an antidote to this collective sickness. There is a cure for conformity. Jung called this cure the achievement of personality. He didn't see personality as something you're just born with. He saw it as a noble, essential achievement, the supreme realization of the absolute uniqueness of your being. It's an active process of becoming who you truly are. So how do you do it? Well, you have to be willing to walk the road less traveled. It means freeing yourself from the herd to find and follow your unique calling, your personal mission. It means you have to endure the real, legitimate suffering that comes from forging your own path instead of just taking the easy one. You know, the essayist Ralph Waldo Emerson put it perfectly. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. True individuality, it requires a conscious, courageous break from the crowd.
But let's be really clear about this. This isn't about being different just for the sake of being different. Not at all. It's a call to authentic self-creation, to become the creator of your own values and the master of your own mind, rather than just letting society dictate them for you. And this brings us to our final empowering section, a call to action. How do you actually start sculpting your true self?
This right here, this is the stark choice that is in front of every single one of us. On one side, you can be a willing slave, living for the approval of others, just another social unit. Or, on the other side, you can become a sculptor of yourself, picking up the hammer and chisel to forge your own character, choosing freedom and individuality over comfort and conformity. Which path are you on?
And please remember this. Your anxiety, your depression, your suffering, it may not be a disease to be medicated away. It might actually be a school for greatness. It could be the necessary catalyst for you to become an extraordinary individual. It's the pain that signals that growth is not only possible, but absolutely essential.
So, we'll end with this final provocative thought. It's been said that one honest person, one person who stops lying to themselves, can bring down a tyranny. And that tyranny can be political, or it can be the quiet tyranny of social conformity. The world desperately needs extraordinary individuals right now. So the only question left is, will you be one of them?